Hello, I'm going to attempt to show you how to make these little face scrubbies. Wherever you need to scrub your face, they will help, take your makeup off, etc, etc. They're quite simple to make. All you need to know how to do is a magic ring, double crochet, puff stitch, which I will show you how to do, and single crochet. I have got some other videos showing you how to do various things like that, if you would find that helpful. So I'm going to use this, which is cotton. If you want to wash them in the washing machine, you need them to be cotton. It is slightly more abrasive as well, so it'll be slightly better for what you need it for. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a magic ring. I'm using a 3.5 hook, if that helps. I do apologise if you can hear my cats. I'm sure Mrs. Fancy Pants will jump up and say hello in a minute, which will be really unhelpful. Okay, so we've got the magic ring. You're then going to chain 2. You may also be able to hear my children playing in the garden with my husband. We're going to do 11 double crochet. I use American terms, into the magic ring here. Some people use cotton, some people use bamboo, that's why I've got that there, that's bamboo. Some people use that as well. Okay, your chain counts as the first stitch, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. I've adapted this from a couple of patterns that I've seen online. I always pull one of them closed first. It's just the way I like to do it. Doesn't mean you've got to do it that way. Oops, tail's getting in the way. Then I'm going to close by going into the top of my chain 2, and there you have your middle section, which is obviously that section there. So I will now show you how to do puff stitch. I will then pause the video so you don't have to watch me do an entire thing of puff stitch, and you can pause the video. Okay, so I'm going to chain 2 to count as part of my first puff stitch. I just find that easier. Some people do, some people don't. I'm going to yarn over and go through the first. If you can remember, if you've watched any of my other videos, we're going underneath both of the strands that make the V for the first stitch. Pull up quite a long loop and then yarn over again through the same hole. 2, we've done that twice now. Again, same thing, and then 4. I always put 4 so that you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through them all. You might have to kind of twist a little bit, like, oh, and if that does happen, that's okay. Just make sure you keep your loop there, pull it out a little bit and bring it through. That was not a very good example because I lost that, but I suppose that's good to show you that might happen. Then a slip stitch. I'll show you that again. Yarn over through the next one. So we've done that. 1, pull up, big loop. 2, oh, something's finished in the kitchen. 3 and 4. Again, all those loops, squiggle it through. There we are, and a little slip stitch to make the stitch complete. So there's my 2 puff stitches, which are like this. So go all the way round, 1 puff stitch in each of these stitches until you get to here. You can pause the video and carry on, and I will be back with you hopefully around here. There we go. So I've done a puff stitch. Oh, I haven't finished that last one with the slip stitch in the top. All the way around I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I do apologise if you can hear my kids jumping about on the trampoline. That's very squeaky in the garden. That must be quite annoying. Okay, so I'm going, you can see here I need to put 1 more puff stitch in here and then join to the top of the chain. Some people don't do it without that starting chain. I just find it really handy. It does look, you can see it, but it's totally up to you. So I'm going to do my last. This is quite a tricky one. Pull up a loop, pull up another loop, pull up another loop, and then last one. Squiggle it through there. Sometimes you get extra threads come through as well. Just be as careful as you can. Okay, there's my last stitch, and then to finish the round I'm going to go into the top of the chain, making sure I get under both of those. Again, you can see that there. Slip stitch. There we go. That's that round done. Oops. So we've now done this part here and then this next part here. Now this thinner round here is single crochet. Again, I use American terms. So I'm just going to do chain 1 and go back into the stitch that I'm actually in at the moment. 2 loops on the hook, pull through both, and do that in all of the stitches all the way around. Like I said, this is an amalgamation of a couple of patterns I found online. You see what I'm doing in the top of each stitch and in the gap. Sounds like they're having a whale of a time on a beautiful day outside. I'll go and join them in a minute, I think. I'll pause the video and you can carry on doing that all the way around, and I'll see you back about here. There we go, all the way round. I haven't joined yet. I'll join it back onto the first chain, just with a little slip stitch there. I do notice that they kind of are a bit sort of concave or convex, whichever way you bend it, but that's quite handy because then you can use them to sort of scrub like that. So the next one, you're just going to do puff stitches again all the way around. So in each of these you should have 24 of these. So in each of those all the way around you're going to do another puff stitch all the way around. I'll start it off, my helpful little chain 2, and then puff stitch straight in here. So pull up 1 loop, pull up another loop, do that 4 times. Some people do it 3, but I like to do it 4 because then you get a nice puffy puff stitch. There we go. And then close the stitch on the top. So you're gonna, I'll do another one, and you're gonna do that, pull up a nice long loop. I do pull up a slightly longer loop than I would do normally just because it's quite tricky to get them through, and it makes it nice and puffy as well, because obviously this is not just going to be laying down somewhere, this is actually hopefully going to be functional. There we are. So do that all the way around and I'll see you back here. There we are. Okay, so last one in there, last puff stitch, bring up that nice long loop, 2, 3 and 4. That's quite a tricky one because it is quite a small stitch. Through there, through that loop, close off the stitch at the top, and then using the top stitch on my chain 2 under the V, little slip stitch in there just to bring the round to a close. So that's that round. You can see here that second round of puff stitches, then literally just another single crochet all the way around the outside. Some people decide to do it, some people decide not. Absolutely up to you what you want to do, really. So if you are going to do that, chain 1, remember we don't need to yarn over with single crochet, like that. One in the top, a good way to remember it, one in the top and then one in between the stitches, and that will take you all the way round. So I will stop there so you don't have to listen to my inane ramblings. All the way round, and I'll see you back about here. Now I've done all the way around here, last stitch in between those two, and then into the top of the first one just to close that round. That's now done. So this is how I fasten off. You could do with quite a long tail because these are actually going to be functional. When you do weave the ends in, I'll show you on one of them. When you do weave the ends in, you're going to want to go lots of different directions to keep them anchored, because if you don't, they might unravel. Obviously these are better, because they are more environmentally friendly, reusable. You can put them in the washing machine because they're made of cotton yarn. But if you do put them in the washing machine, make sure you put them in one of them kind of laundry net bags. Okay, so I'm going to go through here for a good few stitches. Not too tight so that it looks alright, and then I'm going to go the other direction just to really anchor that in place, and I'm going to do that 2 or 3 times just so that it doesn't unravel. It shouldn't do, but if you are using this, it can be quite slippery, some of this yarn. There we are. Do that with this one as well. There we go. So what I do on these, on the middle round, is go in 3 or 4 stitches, and you can hear our PlayStation whirring away in the background, sorry about that. And I'm not quite sure, oh, Fancy Pants has spotted a bird out of the window, so you can probably hear her mewing as well. There we go. So there is your scrubby. And you can do sets of them to give as gifts if you want to. You can do whatever it is you want with them, really. There are lots and lots of patterns online if you want to have a look for them. This is just one interpretation, one possibility, but just enjoy, while away some of the time in the sunshine. Hope that helps.